Hello my friends, and welcome back to what I'm sure is going to be another life-changing video. So today I'd like to discuss something that's very close to my heart, which is singing. An opera singer with a YouTube channel talking about singing?
Groundbreaking.
Now, I've been singing my entire life. I've been performing since I was 4, I've been taking private weekly voice lessons for the past 15 years, and I have 2 degrees on the subject. So I am officially classified as a master of all music. A music Jedi, if you will. I've also been teaching for the past few years, both in person and, of course, more recently online because we've been in a panorama. And obviously I haven't had any live gigs lately, so I turned to the internet for fun and validation. So like all of us, I've been spending a lot more time online in this past year, and because of this channel, I've been on YouTube pretty much every single day. So imagine my surprise as I was surfing the World Wide Web when I came across a ton of videos on ye olde YouTube of how to sing. Did I spend hundreds of thousands of dollars and years of my life learning to do something that I could have just Googled? So of course I had to check out these videos, especially the more boldly titled ones. And after watching a ton of these for the past couple days, in my professional opinion, can you learn to sing on YouTube? Kinda. So let's start with the positives, because there is actually a lot of great advice that you can find in these videos, especially the ones done by professionals. A lot of beginning singing focuses in stuff like relaxing tension and just getting used to singing out comfortably rather than pushing or holding it in. And a lot of these videos center around concepts like that, and I think that's great. There's absolutely no harm in trying out a few scales at 2 a.m. because you've decided to abandon your career and become Ariana Grande. But let's get to the negatives because that's what you animals came to see. So while a lot of this information is good, it's also very generalized. These videos share concepts that everyone should know when singing, like don't scream and stop crying. But there's no way for these pre-recorded videos to be tailored to your body specifically. You're special just like everyone else. So your problems with singing are not the same as the person sitting next to you's problems with singing. And further, because there's no way for you to get personalized feedback, the instructor will kind of Dora the Explorer you and go,
"How did you go?"
And then you just kind of go, "Fine, I think." It's really difficult for us to judge our own singing because we are hypercritical of ourselves. And in a more scientific sense, we can't actually really hear how our voice is sounding in the room because we're also hearing the kind of warmer, distorted version that's bouncing around our head all the time and what's in the room. Which is why when we hear recordings of ourselves, we often think, who is that nasally monster? They must be destroyed. So when watching these videos, I also looked at some of the progression videos made by just people learning how to sing using these tools. And I found this video from a YouTuber named Kayla Rose who documents her progression over the span of a year. And in it, she talks about all the good tips that she's picked up, the tools that she's employed. She gives some really solid advice about trying new things, focusing on these kind of broader generalized vocal techniques, relaxation, breathing, stuff like that. But she also talks about how she still struggles with runs after all this time.
For me, I suck at runs, and I know that's my weak point, so I try not to include a whole lot of those in my singing.
And if she were to consult a professional for even 30 minutes, someone could strategize a tailored plan of attack for her voice and her body. Kayla, if you ever see this, message me, I'll help you out. Now, of course, there is a more insidious side to YouTube vocal coaching, and I'll be using this guy as an example today. So the first video of his that I saw was entitled, "If You Can't Do This, You Can't Sing," which of course I clicked on it because beep boop clickbait, yeah, he got me. And there are very few reasons why a person physically can't sing, like a vocal cord injury or being born amusic. So I assumed it was something about that. But no, it's just some dude giving incredibly generalized advice, but in a very black and white way.
If you're not able to breathe without this happening, then you're not going to be able to sing.
The video is also only 6 minutes long, and yet he still finds the time to plug his voice coaching subscription package that you can buy on his personal website. The phrasing in this video is incredibly poor. He'll outline a certain vocal trouble that some people have, but then he'll phrase it in an incredibly misleading way.
So if you're not able to do that, and it comes out, we have a big problem. You're not going to be able to sing.
If you do blank, you can't sing, which is honestly a huge lie and a really weird way to frame these concepts. And it's possible that he did some damage with this video because, oh my dear God, it has almost 1 million views. Now, I have a feeling that if I sat this guy down and had him explain to me why he phrased his video like this, he would probably say, oh yeah, I know that singing has a lot more nuance than that, but I just wanted to explain some basic concepts and get people to click into my video. And I get what he was trying to do with each example, but the problem is he was using very black and white language to describe incredibly nuanced and subjective feelings that every person feels differently depending on their body. It's not just a disservice, it seems also to be like a fear tactic to get people to buy lessons from you. Now, this video filled me with enough anger that I had to look this guy up, so I went on his website to see just how much he charges for his lessons, which, by the way, is way too much. I've seen professional studios charge this much for a month of lessons, not just 1 hour. Also, his website is full of pretty ridiculous clickbaity phrases. He advertises himself as a YouTube viral vocal coach who taught himself to sing, which I thought was a very interesting claim, so I kept looking through his website, and he linked that video that made him go viral in the first place. It's a 10-year progression video where he records himself how he sounded way back when to how he sounds now. And he adds his own like little text commentary throughout the video to comment on his progress. And he makes the mistake of adding in his own video that he was taking lessons the entire time. So he didn't teach himself how to sing. He took lessons for 10 years and got better.
Groundbreaking.
So to be clear, a lot of these videos have a lot of great advice. The best ones are the ones that give room for individuality. For example, this one that I was prepared to argue with when I clicked on it, of how to find your vocal type. Throughout, he makes it clear that vocal type is something that you need to classify yourself in the professional world, but you have to leave room for individuality, and you won't fit in all of these boxes, which I thought was a really lovely reminder to any beginning singers who may be watching.
While it is interesting to discover your fach, don't let it define you as a singer. In the classical and choral world, yes, you need to know your classification. But for the love and enjoyment of singing, sing without boundaries. As long as you are singing in a healthy way, experiment and have fun with your voice.
So in the end, I want you guys to see YouTube videos on how to sing, like a YouTube video on how to cut your hair at home. It might go fine, or it might be a mess and you have to go to the salon and have a professional help you. And I get that voice lessons can be expensive, and they're not an option for everyone. And so for that reason, I think videos that explore these broader general concepts just to get you started on something that you think might be fun are a really great way to explore some new concepts or think about your voice in a way you haven't before. However, if you want to be more ambitious with your voice, or even do this as a career, going at it alone can be hard, discouraging, and even kind of dangerous if you push yourself in the wrong direction. Learning to sing is not always a sexy, soul-bearing adventure. It's a really vulnerable art form that can make you really frustrated at times. A good teacher that can be a support system to encourage you and to tailor a program to fit your specific needs is an investment that can make the whole process a lot more enjoyable and go faster. So that's my little rant. Everyone keep singing, have a good time, you're all doing great, no screaming, no crying. Thank you so much for watching. Feel free to like, subscribe, leave a mean comment, don't worry, I can take it. Take care of yourselves, keep singing, my friends, and I'll see you next time. Also, my giant mug of tea matches my shirt today. That's kind of great.